or if OpTic are going to look a little bit stronger, going on to something that may be a bit more akin to their own home turf here.
Yeah, Cloud9 starting on the CT side, on that defensive side. Rush has got utility, so does Naf. Tarek's been raid bossed. He's got the Tech 9 armor, and everyone towards the B-bomb site for the OpTic side. No one going over towards A, and there's actually a big defense here. There's a little bit of a bait setup. Nothing and Stewie over towards the chicken coop, but only Nothing being exposed. And he gets blinded. He's flushed out into the open, but he's not getting dropped down. Mixo with good damage, and there are the 2 kills. Finally coming at 4, actually, for OpTic. So quick, it's Skadoodle. He gets 2 quick pistol kills, but he's got no more bullets. That defense, I mean, you have to say that was a good read by Cloud9 to be there, but no kills went their way.
No holding at all, and OpTic finally showing up there a little bit too. We saw Terror coming alive a bit more in the second half of that last map, and now he's definitely transitioned it so far into the pistol round here of the second map here as he picks up those 2 quick kills, definitely showing up in big strides, of course, as does Stanislaw, finding 2 of his own. Good counter out of the good defense that was there for C9, but C9 just not really bringing the firepower, so they're going to have to start off from behind the back here, and OpTic get their edge to start off this map. Nothing too unordinary really from either team here in the second round either. Cloud9 trying to play things up there towards the mid-connector to catch any of those lurkers from OpTic moving over towards it. And obviously beyond that, they're just hugging close angles here on Broken Wall and in the drop room to try and stop OpTic from getting into the site, or at the very least catching a couple trades along the way.
Yeah, and this is the next test. We saw last night against NIP. We saw it in the last map against OpTic on Dust 2. Cloud9, their buys here with these upgraded pistols are so effective. They're very scary. They've won a lot, and they've actually, even a lot of them, have come down to very narrow losses. So OpTic's got to be very cautious in how they take this. They do not want to lose the advantage of this pistol round. Stewie, that smoke extends a little bit too far. I think he thought he was going to be able to grab some information behind it with that flashbang, but unfortunately, the denial of info is a real thing, and OpTic, it looks like they're going to readjust the bomb back towards the A side. This is more than likely. I mean, this is looking like it's going to turn to a split. Naf and Mixwell over at drop, come down, head towards the A site, but Cloud9's ready for this as well.
OpTic now starting to move in here too, but the problem is they're getting a little bit low on time. They've only just started the formation of this. If they run into one of these stacks from C9, it could prove troublesome. The 2 in drop are going to start to inch their way out here, but they still have a lot of work to do to really clear things out here. And they're really only trying to sell the fake, however. But Shroud, he's going to grab that first kill. Mixwell catches the player trying to move in onto a flank. That's Skadoodle getting knocked out, and the others really just walk right into the A bomb set. Cloud9 tried to lurk on a flank, but in turn they ended up giving it up. But on the peak, though, there's nothing. He's found the kill in the rush, hunting for a second one, but he's going to find his own death. Stewie, however, holds within sight of drop, is able to take down Mixwell, and there's automatic. Swing it out from the other angle. Now it's just Tarek isolated, all on his lonesome, trying to hold here. He's got one player pushing out the shed. That one should be doable, but no! Stewie, an incredible shot from him, and all of a sudden, Cloud9 have upset in their first eco.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about. So scary, and they win another one. Cloud9's, these force buys have been so good. In OpTic, that's the nightmare scenario. You lose first map, you win the pistol run, you're feeling good, and it almost feels like maybe they get a little bit too fancy with that, because that wasn't even attempted at being an A split. The 2 players from OpTic that come down drop actually challenge over towards the B bomb site and get traded off, but they're not even trying to meet up with the three teammates at A. So losing a lot of the advantage of having so many different rifles or SMGs together in a group. And Cloud9 just eliminated them. 2 AKs for free on the CT side now.
Well, now we are going to see OpTic pushing forward again more decisively over here towards the outside, leading up to the mid connector and obviously the A halls here, as Tarek already pushes himself inside too, with a few more just holding back. They have not decided, interestingly enough, to go into the force of themselves. Not going to want to go on that sort of wild goose chase of an economy run there. They'll be a bit more preservative in that regard. Just picking up P250s this time, but the brute force of their hit, if they can catch 1 or 2 of the members of Cloud9 off guard here initially, then they'll still have a chance to try and bring back the upset too. Gotta bring Cloud9 back down to their own turf currently.
Even Stewie being a little bit risky over in the corner, just staring into the wall, but he's going to see some action. This is just designed, again, to be a little bit of a fake out. Automatic's alone at the A site, so that's a benefit for OpTic, but they want to bring the bomb over towards A this whole time. 2 players on the B platform, 2 holding drop. And here's Shroud, he sees him coming out, he gets the first kill, and the second one, and the third. All 3 kills for him, and now Automatic, it's his job next. He knows what's coming, and he's prepared for it. Easy for Cloud9 to handle that.
Squeaky clean as well. Shroud being dinged down to 4 HP, but those 3 kills look perfect. Then Automatic spots the shadow behind him, and the players pushing out from long A. They read it 100%, and they don't have any problems at all shutting it down. 2-1 goes up the scoreline. OpTic, however, with that full save, they go right into the bye. As we did see the plant coming in still in the second round, so they had the money. The bad part about this buy, though, as you can already see there on the right side, is that the utility is going to be very, very limited here. For the most part, they're only going to have that single smoke and little tidbits here and there. And beyond that, just the AKs to get them into this site and hopefully win out the round.
Yeah, they're actually out of everything right now. They have a decoy and stand. This is actually really awkward for OpTic. I mean, they're just got to win battles now, and they have nothing to flush Stewie out of this corner. They have nothing to blind Shroud if he's going to aggressively defend drop. They have nothing to even really force back any of this pressure and danger stairs from OpTic. So really, really tough spot to be in if you're the T side of OpTic. And again, I mean, this is much like we've seen on their Terra sides. I mean, no one really doing anything for the first 30, 40 seconds right now. It's usually around a minute where they start to kind of give up that indication, even to the casters who have the minimap, even to us, have any kind of indication of what's coming.
Well, we're starting to see them group up towards it here now, over into the A-bomb site here. Stanislaw will soon be falling away from that mid-connector, I imagine, move into it, but Cloud9 are still keeping the presence over here towards A. Even that, however, is now going to change as Skadoodle starts his slow wrap over there. They will keep automatic, obviously, in the A sites. They still have some presence here, but OpTic sit on the edge, and they're getting prepped to move in here now as the time is getting a little bit low. Only really 30 seconds left on that clock by the time they initiate this, so they're not really going to be giving themselves a lot of extra room here to make mistakes. And as they move in, there's two players from Cloud9 waiting to stop this hit. And there we go, nothing. Able to dink down one player, but he does not get the kill. Stewie, however, peeking out. He's going to be able to find not one, but two. Shroud also picking one up elsewhere on the map here. Naf trying to turn it back around for his team, but nothing being picked up at all. Shroud switches over to the Deagle. We've seen Rush find a kill, but he's at 2 HP, and there's only 10 seconds left, and he can't even jump up onto that barrier there. Having trouble with that even. Looks like he's going to be able to get out at the very least and survive the round, but good defense from Cloud9 is they just absolutely destroy OpTic's offense.
Yeah, that's the problem. They had no nades to really, I mean, they had to execute through it. I mean, they had to wait for that smoke to come down. At that point when the clock's running down and Automatics felt no pressure over at A whatsoever, and he's playing it very passively, they just know it's going to be a B hit. And even still, with the clock running down that low, I mean, look at all the utility still left on the Cloud9 sides when this replay is going on. There's still a Molotov on Skadoodle that he doesn't have to use because he's far away, but they had another Molotov on another user or another player. So, I mean, just so many disadvantages in that round for OpTic, and now they just have to rely on Rush, the sole rifle, to find a pick for them. But meanwhile, Skadoodle, perhaps a little bit of confidence being regained in that first map. He's a bit aggressive with an angle towards the A hallway, and Automatics just got to protect him from behind. I don't think he's aware that one's so close up the danger stairs. Now he is. There's a pick from Skadoodle. Automatic holding down these stairs, and he sees him running up the ramp. So the call's already come out. Meanwhile, the bomb is closer over towards the B site. Naf's trying to split it, and he's going to get through at least initially.
Now as he moves in, he's got to hunt for those kills, and immediately he's going to get found out by nothing. The earlier damage that was done to him by Automatic is going to come to a boiling point there as they knock him down. And Stewie now waiting for more than a push out from drop itself. But OpTic, they're being hesitant all of a sudden. They're not wanting to push into the site now. Trying to be careful and see if they can fish any of these players out into the open. But we've already seen it from Cloud9. There's no reason for them to do that in their current situation here. They're going to hold back. They're going to play it safely. And now, all this time, some waste. It's already started to rotate over. There goes Rush. He's been knocked out. Mixwell just getting hit by a nade here. He does finally return some damage on one of these guys, but Shroud moves in, and it's just Terry with a P250 left now.
Yeah, trying to time this jumping shot. That's not going to be too much fun. He's about to get taken out, but yeah, an interesting round for OpTic there, because again, they had that AK-47, that rush save. They brought that into that round, and they didn't let it lead the way. They let the pistols do the work over towards the bomb site, and Rush never seemed to really want to make a move with that AK-47, so it gets taken out. 4-1 for Cloud9 pretty quickly, and here comes another buy for the OpTic side. Rush is going to be a little bit beat up because he didn't get any bonus money for surviving that previous round. But they have all the utility this time at the very least.
OpTic, however, will now send their players again on the usual split. Nothing too ordinary about this. In fact, it's a very, very basic T side at the moment, which proved to be a bit dangerous. This is what we see from like every single NA team to a certain degree and how they open up their T sides. And needing to see them investigate a bit more, but they're quick about it. However, Shroud's ready for it. Finds the first kill. The Molotov and the earlier damage, however, is going to be enough to prime him to be taken out by Mixwell. So he finishes the job, catches the 1-for-1 trade, and that's drop control found really early on in the round here.
Still the off in Skadoodle's hands over towards the B bomb site, so he can be a force. Him and Stewie are playing at this B platform, so they want to make sure no pressure comes this way. It basically is just drop that's undefended over on that side of the map. Skadoodle, though, this is a chance for him to peer over the smoke. Is he going to be able to find anything? It does look like that smoke is clearing just enough to allow him some vision. Here comes a little bit of an execute. Skadoodle still can't find anything over this, and they're going to come right through it. There's some coming out drop. Skadoodle takes a shot. He misses it. Now they jump through. He almost makes that work. Stewie, though, that's a good trigger control. He finds the second player, finds another one. Huge hold from him. It's down into a 2-on-2. Nothing coming through this smoke. Is he going to be aggressive? He is. There's one to his right, and he can't win it out in time. Naf finds the kill. Now it's Automatic's turn to come through the smoke. And he is going to find this one at the very least. Into a 1-on-1, and he can't recover. Stanislaw wins a big round for OpTic. Their second of the half.
Stewie baiting Scott may have worked there too. It allowed to get the 2-for-2 trade, especially if he manages to stay alive in that situation and it's a constant force to be dealt with up on platform. That round goes in the complete opposite direction, and it should be an easy closeout for Cloud9 with the additional 2 reinforcements coming in from A. But unfortunately, with that not working out, it still allows for OpTic to battle back, and of course they are able to get their second round. But now is the question of consistency, as we have seen in the past with many teams before. If they drop this one, well, again, their economy is going to be reset. Even on this one itself, Mixwell is down to a Tech 9 again, so their money's not solid yet. If they drop it, then Cloud9 has another couple free rounds as OpTic will look to rebuild again.
Yeah, and the boost up into drop for Skadoodle. And he's just going to hold this angle. Easy to fall back from. That nade misses its mark just a little bit, doesn't do any damage. OpTic again just choosing to have most of their bodies over towards this B bomb site, just waiting out the timer, waiting out smokes. Appears they're going to get a little bit aggressive pretty early on here. The Molotov comes out, but it's a little bit late. A couple players have already streamed out. Stewie's got to be careful. There's the kill from Skadoodle, and Stewie can't manage it through the smoke, and all the defense is falling. Nothing is down as well. Bomb site control. The bomb is being planted as well. And
now Shroud, however, is going to find himself a close counters battle with Mixwell. Is able to take him out of the picture, and the smoke wall is set up. No one else from Cloud9 wanting to challenge that at this point. They're all holding back. They're all waiting for it to fade, which is going to do now. However, at the same time, some of the players from OpTic are starting to lurk out there to look for kills. Rushed on Automatic. Trade blows, but Automatic sneaking in. Again, he's going to be able to find 2 for himself. It's on to Tarek. He just whiffed the whole clip there, throwing it out into the open. Damage being done a little bit, but there we go. There's the tap away that picks up Skadoodle, but he cannot shut down Automatic. A big round for him. He gets the 3K. He's going to go for the defuse, and he will be able to find it. Cloud9 pick up a 5th, and that's the trade they were looking for.
Yeah, the economy now, the losing bonus is reset. A nice round from OpTic. They're getting into the site, but a sick retake. Automatic with 2 huge kills, and Tarek just stuck in a really tough spot. Almost even pulls it out, but it might have been the fact that he used so many bullets initially just to hold off that first peek from Automatic that he doesn't have enough to get that kill at the end. 5-2, and even with that plan, even with the extra $800, OpTic can bring no weapons, and I think they actually just wasted a smoke. Yeah, right in CT spawn. So, and you can't rebuy those either. So, hopefully they didn't need 4 smokes for this execution, and nothing getting aggressive. He's just going to find an easy kill. That's just a little bit sloppy. That might be a little bit of frustration, because why is Naf so far away from all of his teammates just jumping around? Nothing gets away with one there, and maybe some cracks starting to form in the OpTic team morale.
Pause maybe need in the future. Interestingly, though, I don't think we saw OpTic take a single pause in that last map, even when things were starting to look a little bit dire there. So now would certainly be the time that with how unorganized things are starting to look. And in this one, as they move in, Tarek's managed to knock out nothing, but it has negligible effect with Stewie picking up the kills that he is here. Look at this, absolutely insane, shutting it all down. And Shroud chimes in there for one final frag.
Yeah, and you're right though with the pause. Like, this is where you stand as on maybe a little bit inexperienced as an in-game leader. This is where you'd want to call it, because that round was just sloppy start to finish. First, just dropping the smoke accidentally, of course, into spawn, and then Naf just kind of running around and getting killed before any kind of, like, if you're going to invest in the utility, like, you have to have some kind of a set plan, and Naf running far away ahead of his team to get dropped is not part of that plan. So a little bit of tilting showing up for the OpTic side. Finally, they're going to switch things up. This is what we've seen a lot of teams get stumped over towards B and apply a little bit more pressure towards the A site. Naf on a Tech 9. They have a Glil on Rush and a UMP on Mixwell.
You see OpTic again splitting up their players here into the default split. Nothing beyond this. Nothing too advanced that we've seen as of yet. It's been a while since we've had any A hits really coming in from OpTic as well. Here's something that the analysts talked about a little bit there too, and how they are able to hit that. But suddenly it's not really showing up at all here, but they're on the cusp of it this time. The bomb has not been committed to yet, so I imagine it's going to rely on their ability to get a frag, even using a little bit of a boost up there to try to catch any of the players. But it's going to be Mixwell that finds a kill, I believe, in drop first off. This is where he does take down Shroud, has been positioning himself inside of there, but all of a sudden, Automatic in the mid connector, looks for his own opportunity to pick up a kill. He won't get it, and now he's been surrounded, but he holds the line, even sees the foot of the second player, but that greed is what causes his death. Tarek is able to trade, and it puts it into a 4-on-3.
Skadoodle's kind of patched up that long A passageway with the AWP. This is frightening as well. There's a good kill from nothing. He's overexposed, so they can commit to that, but spraying, he continues forward. Good recoil control. Skadoodle's going to be safe here. Now he can just watch for them to jump up, and there's an easy kill for him. Not even looking is Tarek. Mixwell, the last one left. It's a 1-on-2. He's got to commit one way, and Skadoodle gets that as well, but he was sandwiched no matter what. And here's the pause for OpTic Gaming. Stan calls it out immediately. The question is, they don't have any money in this round to really do much with it. 3-round losing bonus is built up, so could spend a little bit of cash into this round if you want, if you're the OpTic side.
7-2 though, this is happening again at a very, very dire scoreline, and more than likely looking at an 8-2 scoreline too after this one, considering the money factor there. So this is going to be a lot of recovery that needs to happen in a very, very short amount of time, considering already the lead that Cloud9 has already managed to establish here, and if things don't turn around very soon, this could easily just become a quick 2-0 for Cloud9, setting them to the semis.
I don't know if my gauge of 30 seconds is off, but that felt like a very short 30 seconds.
It does go by pretty quickly, I've noticed.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if that's me or if that really was just a quick one, but we're already back underway into the round as freeze time dwindles, and look at nothing. Knowing it's going to be mostly unarmored opponents, and knowing it's going to be a save, goes for that P90, so expect for him to take an aggressive stance.
Yep.
But it's going to be the A site that's challenged.
Not necessarily, too. If Stan knows what he's thinking going into that one, that could just be a quick brief as far as what they're going to do on the next round, and then just use that as more of a breather, making sure everybody takes a few seconds to calm themselves, and in this one already, Cloud9 sort of shutting things down. Automatic is lost in the midst of things, and they start to push themselves up to the site, but even they're not sure about that. They move themselves in a little bit. They fall back from the ramp positions, and now they're heading back up Suicide to wrap out towards A halls instead.
This isn't a bad idea as well, because they know Skadoodle last round was playing over towards Long with that AWP, so they have this rifle on Mixwell who has armor. They want to use these pistols of Naf and stand and perhaps distract him enough to get a kill. Unfortunately, he's fallen back to be a little bit more passive. Shroud is here to back him up, so there's a good presence from Cloud9 defensively at this A site. And no utility left, so they've got to rely on Mixwell to either bait properly or just straight up win a duel, and they have no idea where the Cloud9 members are.
They will move themselves out here into the alleyway. First off, Skadoodle. That's an easy shot for him without flashbang support or anything like that. And the tip down below, a broken wall finds a second and back over to the crack to find the third one. Shuts down Naf to end the round. Flawless from Skadoodle.
He's had a phenomenal day so far today, all things considered, considering his struggles recently. So good to see that out of Skadoodle, perhaps playing himself out of a slump a little bit. And now the switch up. Cloud9 going to employ that double op setup. Stewie's got his. Skadoodle obviously keeping one as well. And OpTic still choosing not to bring it out. So we're going to see. Still go committed to this A bomb site. Still feeling like perhaps this is the weakness that they can exploit. We'll have to see how they do it. Only one player at the moment. Stan is over towards these A halls, so he might run into this crossfire from Automatic and Skadoodle.
Now we are sitting back and waiting too as OpTic finally going into another one of these A hits here. Skadoodle tries to go for the shot initially. It doesn't hit, but that op shot is enough to draw Stan into the open where Automatic is going to be able to punish. Now they fall back to the site. The problem is, though, they're already up. And with these two fully committed here, there was no room for Cloud9 to rotate in, especially with the pace that OpTic were taking. So they get site control. They will find the plan. But they haven't done the damage necessary here, so they're going to be knocking at their door for a retake very, very soon.
Good call from OpTic, though. They recognize once the op shot comes out and Automatic gets the kill, they know the two A defenders are over in hall, so they just run right up into the site. Nothing on the flank is going to have to find Naf. There's Tarek. He's in the murder hole. He finds a kill. Naf still not revealing himself quite yet. I think nothing's been spotted. He's got to be so careful. He's throwing nades. Naf gives out the position and loses that fight. That's not good. Rush still. He's the next one up, but his teammates are falling, and he still hasn't seen action now. Completely blind. It's a 4-on-2, and Cloud9, this is surgical. This is precision retake, and they're going to get the defuse. It looked good for OpTic, but Cloud9 proves too much.
And with that, they pick up a 9th, and again, their lead continues to push forward, even after the pause, even after OpTic needing to take a breather to figure out just what was going wrong. It hasn't worked out at all here. They still are dropping rounds, and the lead just continues to grow. OpTic aren't finding anything on this T side. This is where we would hope that they would be able to find some success due to the fact that they're one of the few teams that does bring some variance to the table, but it's just not happening right now. Another AK buy for them, trudging away from the A takes here, but it's like, again, they're just going to head in towards B and see what they can find. A lot more direct this one, though. They're not toying around with sending those 1 or 2 players outside. That will allow, however, for Automatic to peek out there and figure this out very quickly, but he may not even get a chance to do so. These guys already try to move into the site. Smokes are covering it, but in they go. Tarek has found his first kill. That's nothing that goes down. Stewie pushing in, looking for a counter reaction, but oh no.
How has he gotten here?
He's pushed right past them. Nobody was even watching it. He's crawling behind them. However, he's losing his teammates, so he needs to strike soon. There's the first one. Combo get into a second, trying to shut them down more. He's gotten all he can get for now, but he's got to watch out for the staircase. There's a player lurking behind him. He hasn't seen it, and although that was a great flank, it seems to have had very little effect on the overall outcome of the round. Automatic was still on his way back over here. However, that's a great headshot, finding Rush, and now he's got it down to a 1v2. The smoke will let him back into the site, but close encounters, unfortunately. Tarek is sitting just below that. It'd be dangerous. Oh! Automatic jumping down, and he gets the last one as well. Automatic with a huge clutch. You cannot stop Cloud9 right now.
Yeah, Cloud9 can do no wrong. What a performance for Automatic. This is nuts because this play from Stewie, this replay we're seeing, it's risky, and you're exactly right. It almost takes too long to come to fruition, but Automatic pulling out some god-tier plays. This is a nice headshot coming up, but a jumping shot on the second player is what really does it. And OpTic, I mean, this is where you're just completely broken. This is where you wonder to yourself, how can we even win this? You can see heads in the hands. We've seen some of the tilting coming out earlier in the half. Well, that one just threw him off the face of earth.
Cloud9 with absolute control of this CT side, and OpTic just doesn't even know what to do with themselves. They've tried outright aggression out of the A-bomb site. They've tried outright aggression onto the B-bomb site in that last round. They've tried to take it slow. They've tried to play the defaults. They've exhausted everything here, and nothing is working for them. They go on to another buy, but it's very weak. Beyond the utility they've already used here, there's just not a lot left. A few more smokes just being picked up there. They're already down to just 3 flashbangs and 2 smokes for the entire team here, trying to set something up that they can use. They're back to the default split. However, they are applying a bit more aggression over here towards the A bomb site. 3 of them pushing into suicide and A long respectively, and they've gotten good control, so it seems like they're going to call Mixwell and Rush over instead of initiating a fake and then having the other 2 execute into the B site.
I'm still just laughing from that automatic 1-on-3. If you're OpTic, I mean, no matter what tactic you call, you've just got to feel useless at the moment. And again, I mean, this slow, methodical play, you can't do it to this extent when you don't have the utility. They have no smokes at the moment. I mean, they're going to toss, I think 1 out is going to be out for the double doors, but nothing for Automatic and Skadoodle, and they're going to be able to take this. Skadoodle peering up over. There's the find. Casual shot from Skadoodle. Automatic baiting for him, just there to support, and he does find one, helping his teammates out. Now he's got so much mobility available to him. The bomb is down, and he's just going to wrap around the APC. He's playing Ring Around the Rosie, and he's going to win it. And there goes Stanislaw as well. No success in the execute again.
They had limited utility, but that's the weird thing is that they had smokes. They had, I believe, like 4 or 5 smokes picked up there across the team, but they all use them in the first like 15 to 20 seconds of the round, and then they don't save them for when they actually go into the bomb site.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, this is also, you get that feeling that Automatic just knows they've been beaten because they're not doing anything. If you're going to use that much utility early on before the execute, you have to use it for something. You have to gain some kind of positional advantage. You have to be able to flush someone out, force a rotate that you can exploit. But no one from OpTic is being aggressive enough to do any of that. No one really seems to want to step up and make the play at the moment, which is crazy to think about when you have guys like Tarek, guys like Mixwell, guys like Rush. These are playmakers.
Well, we see now Shroud and Rush trading blows at the beginning of this one over here towards drop, but Skadoodle quickly adjusting his own position there. He's being challenged a little bit too, but he is able to get out of there as those are the 2 players pushing their way in. And oh, a quick shot. He can't recover quickly enough to get a 3rd for himself, so Tarek finally puts an end to Skadoodle's reign there, but already into the 2, now 1 versus 3, as Tarek is sandwiched there, and as Stanislaw peeks out, they see him coming. Nice shot, actually, to take down Automatic here, but still, the 1v2, and he's got to get back into that doorway to get the bomb under his control too, so this would be an absolute miracle on the level that Automatic just pulled off here. If we could somehow see Stanislaw clutch this, but it's unlikely.
Yeah, extremely unlikely at the moment. You can see he even knows it, going for the spam, going for the fights. Molotov is out. It's after that he'll have to make his play, but they have both edges covered, and he's going to peek out. He does at least find the one-on-one, but you can't exactly know when that peek's going to come in, and Stan can't react fast enough. So dominant half from Cloud9, 12-2. We have to remember as well, thinking all the way back, OpTic won pistol round. So they only have 2 rounds after winning pistol. That's a bit rough.
They immediately got upset the second, and then I think they won 1 or 2 rounds there when they were finally, or they just won 1 round when they were finally able to really afford another full buy that went back in there. And it's just been an absolute shutdown now. I think 8 rounds straight from the Cloud9 roster here, as they have been absolutely shutting out the OpTic guys. And well, they're going to try for another, what seems to be a quickly formulating execute here going into the V-bomb site. They'll hold it off for a few seconds, of course, due to the usual smokes and Molotovs that have been tossed out from C9, but they're not going to wait too long here. They're already going out. Good Molotov actually will force Nothing out of position, and he's going to chop right in front of the faces. 1! How have they not seen this? And Nothing just goes off, finds that kill there. Thankfully, it's a quick trade because the Molotovs are causing, or the Flashes are causing so much confusion, but after OpTic picks up a few kills, it's left into a 3v2. Automatic is still in this site, posing a threat, and as he pushes in, there's his first kill. Very, very low, though, down to 12 HP, looking for more. And oh no, we're going to have to radio cast this one. It's in a 1v1. Naf and Skadoodle. Naf has a position over by steps, but Skadoodle finds the shot from the backside over behind the rock. And as he takes down Naf on the steps, Cloud9 will find their 13th.
How does Automatic do it again? Coming through his smoke. There was 4 smokes deployed on the map, and he just goes right through it. I mean, that's just the feeling that you get when you know you just can't lose. And Automatic has been a monster this half, 20-6 for him, but what a performance from Cloud9.
All right, guys, the first half is done, and it's been a shocker for the guys on OpTic here, as they have not been able to put anything up on the board at all. Second half is coming up in just a bit. If there's any hope for recovery at all, they will have to do it in just a few moments. Stick with us as the ESL Pro League Finals continues.
When you first enter Sao Paulo, you'll be amazed by an impressive collage of colors and shapes. The city's landscape is made up of an eclectic selection of buildings interspersed with the natural beauty of Brazil. The true mosaic of colors, however, can be found on Sao Paulo's numerous street markets located all over the city, where fresh Brazilian fruits and produce are sold to locals and tourists visiting this phenomenal city.
The Mountain Dew League is definitely the biggest thing that's giving us exposure. And that's basically what this kind of league does. It just promotes growth in smaller teams, and you can really make a name for yourself. We definitely have a possibility to raise some eyebrows, and people are going to be surprised.
This is the galaxy's easiest meal. And this is the galaxy's easiest race. Silent, the galaxy's easiest meal.
Get your team apparel now at shop.eslgaming.com.
This is the galaxy's easiest meal. And this is the galaxy's easiest haircut.
I absolutely love it.
Soylent, the galaxy's easiest meal.
He's going to get the one kill in that bomb coming onto the side. FNX has to stay up. He gets the triple FNX. Oh my god, what a way to win that round. They don't have a smoke, so this orb is still. Oh, look at that.
And with Cloud9 absolutely destroying OpTic Gaming, is there any hope at all for the OpTic roster, the Canadian hope, to bounce back into this match? Moses, I'll leave that question to you.
There's always a little bit of hope, as we've learned. You never I think the analysts call it, never go with full Moses and say that there's zero chance. So there's a little bit of hope. Learned my lesson over time. But I mean, the big thing is that, I mean, this defense for OpTic has been strong, but I mean, the big X factor in this has just been, you know, Cloud9 can do no wrong. I mean, Skadoodle's shown up with good impact, but OpTic mostly is just like every fight he takes, he just wins. And when you're in that kind of a situation, you win that kind of a 1-on-3, and then have the impact that he's had on some of the retakes that they've done. There's just not a lot of options open left to OpTic. And remember as well, they won pistol in first half. Even if they win pistol here, we've seen how good Cloud9 is on their force buys and their saves. So I mean, there's just so many chances of danger. 13 rounds, an 11-round lead in which Cloud9 can really, I mean, they could just flat out win rounds, or they can just grind the economy down to where OpTic, even if they go on a streak, if they just have a couple of rounds where they don't have the economy, they don't have the money to buy a nade, a smoke, a Molotov, an AW, whatever it might be, they could just miss a crucial part of their arsenal, and then all of a sudden it's just over. So Cloud9, just so many different ways they can win at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Automatic come alive again, too, in this match, where he came alive just yesterday, I believe it was, in the match versus Nip, where he had some absolutely fantastic rounds, and that huge clutch he had, where it was the 1v3 that he managed to pull off towards the end of that last half there. Some really great stuff, and then, again, it's just him and Stewie constantly working together to bring these really great plays. Skadoodle, we've seen some good stuff from him in this map, too. Obviously, the scoreboard doesn't necessarily represent that, along with Shroud, but still good stuff over the course of these two maps so far. It's certainly showing up and proving some of the naysayers wrong. But we'll get into it, of course, now, the pistol round, and really the last hope of redemption here for OpTic. If they want to try to bounce back, they need to win this pistol and form some hope of a foundation off it. Cloud9, they were taking things very, very slowly. Not the direct path that we saw OpTic take to the B-bomb site in the last half. They're holding it up with quite a few of their players outside of A-Long right now.
Yeah, Skadoodle's got the smoke here in this tactic, and they've taken control, yeah, completely. I mean, this is just flat out passive from OpTic, so he's going to line up this smoke. That's going to go out. That's going to go over for the doors. And are they going to commit to this? It looks like they will right up. Tarek gets blind, but he hits the shot anyways. That's nice stuff. That's sick. So he can be a little bit more passive. They don't have to commit too much as Rush gets one more as well. But he's brought down very, very low. But some of these fights have got to start turning into the favor of Cloud9. Can they win another one? There's Automatic and Stewie with 3 kills so quickly, and they might have just done it one more time. The bomb is going to get planted, stands on a flank, and this has got to have huge impact.
Every single time it seems lost, they somehow bring it back. And Alphas to stand to open things up. They've gotten close. They're ready to retake, but the problem is Skadoodle is waiting just on the other end of this one as they do try to push their way back in. Mixwell tapping for the shot too. They know they have that player stuck over in the corner, but they don't even find it. And Stewie and Skadoodle instantly shut down those 2 kills and give Cloud9 their second half pistol, 14-2. Only their first of this match. Just thing they keep in mind again, I think you brought this up, they lost the pistol in the first half, but they still have this huge lead to work with.
Yeah, I mean, it's just insane how many big advantages OpTic has lost in this matchup. And I mean, they've put themselves in great position to win. This is the big thing. It's just we're seeing, I think, maybe a little bit of inexperience. You know, talked about the mental game, some of the tilting, and we've got music.
Bit of a new touch.
I like it. I like it.
Polarizing subjects for some.
But yeah, so here we are coming up this A ramp, and 2 kills for OpTic, and surely this cannot be turned around again. Surely they have to use that advantage and win this. They need it, but they're losing everyone now. I mean, Shroud here, he's going to get dropped by Rush. 2 on 3, but Cloud9 have control of this A bomb site. There is a flank coming in, and it looks like Skadoodle knows. He doesn't have the bomb. Nothing has that, so he's going to get into the site. But the player on the flank is Stan, and he's playing extremely passive, and Cloud9, they have 1 minute and 15, so they both just stop, and they wait for the next piece of information to come their way.
It's not going to be coming, though. OpTic are waiting outside for this plant to actually happen, and they're very, very far away from the gates of the bomb site itself. Rush even makes sure that nobody decides to push back in, so they'll feel safe enough to be able to go for this plant, and Skadoodle waits for what I believe will be Stanislaw to lurk his way back in from the outside here. It's his turn to initiate, and Skadoodle will have to make sure that he hits this shot. This should actually be the easiest kill, because he's only got 9 HP, and in fact, he'll grab it there, takes him down. 2 left up and running for the Cloud9 roster as they move in, and they're going to find the first. Naf responds. It goes into a 1v1 with nothing trying to clutch out, but he's got full control of the bomb right now, and as he moves forward, Naf is the target, but he's close with the shotgun. The jump up brings nothing down to 15 HP. He's got to look for him now as he's still stuck behind that shed. He tries to go for a second shot, and now nothing. Playing the positioning perfectly, just trying to use as much cover as possible and waste as much time as possible, but Naf leaps on. However, he doesn't have a kit. There's no time left, and this is going to be another round for C9.
There's the veteran play from nothing, knowing that he just has that bomb is essentially a teammate in that situation. Doesn't even need to go for the kill, doesn't need to put him in any risky situation, just needs to live long enough for that bomb timer to tick down low, and it does exactly that, even with the kill. OpTic falls, and now Cloud9 15-2. They're about to take this series 2-0. I think this is the point where you could start saying there's a 0% chance. I've done it.
And jinxed.
And he's back in the room. He's back, boys. No worries. Perhaps he never left.
Well, we'll see. And obviously here for the C9 guys, still playing to the basic default. They've got full control of the matchup as we continue to use phrases that probably shouldn't be uttered. But they'll just hold themselves outside. It's not looking like there's going to be anything crazy aggressive from OpTic here in the early round, obviously for good reason on that one. Stanisla's pushed himself in, but this is still a somewhat typical position to play, but he's being hit quite a bit through the door. Down at 22, and he just walks into the spray. So he's going to go down. Stewie will find that kill quite easily.
Yeah, I was going to say, that Stewie's going to be happy with that one. So good find. Shroud, on the other hand, on the other side of the map, he's just watching for pushes. Cloud9 with great map control, and I mean, OpTic has no idea what's coming. You can see them on the mini-map just rotating everywhere. They don't seem to be comfortable with any of their positions because they don't know what's going on in this 4-on-5. And it looks like they might, yeah, it looks like they're doing a reverse boost up drop, and Mixwell's going to be the one who at least has an advanced position. Is he going to push forward, and he's going to get dropped. So Cloud9 know they have an advantage. They know they're not the ones that need to make the play, and they're just punishing OpTic for trying to be aggressive here. Even Tarek, he seems like he wants to try and find something out, but his teammates have all followed. Even though he gets a nice pop flash and a kill, he gets traded immediately, and this is it. A little bit anticlimactic, but we've seen some spectacular play from Cloud9, a map where we thought OpTic had a little bit of a chance based on their play from it earlier in the tournament. It's not going to happen here. In Cloud9, they cement themselves as the best team in North America. If there are any doubts before, there are no longer.
Rush is going to try to make his best attempt here to pull off the 1v4. He's gotten the first kill, AK now in his hands, but he has no utility. He doesn't even have armor sitting behind his Vi either, trying to navigate through the smoke, but there you go. Nothing finds the shot, and Cloud9 will move forward into the semifinals with an absolutely shocking score on the second map, 16-2 against OpTic. A bit disappointing, I imagine, for the OpTic fans at home, considering how good they look coming off of New York, and to end the tournament here like this, certainly not what they expected.
Well, I mean, this is what we said. You know, we mentioned OpTic, like, yeah, they've looked good, but like keep the hype measured because they hadn't played, you know, a best-of-3 series against any Europeans. They hadn't even played against a top 10 team. So they've been all BO1 wins. This is the first real LAN series we've seen from them against, you know, a highly touted team like Cloud9. And obviously there's going to be some stumbling blocks, but I think OpTic can still kind of come away from this that they impressed again in the BO1.